Hey, what is going on, you guys? It is Mr. No Sleep here from Old School RuneScape, and welcome to a brand new video for you all today. So today we have loot from 1000 Brutal Black Dragons, and some of you may remember close to 2 years ago, upon release of these Brutal Black Dragons, which was around June 9th, 2016, I did do a video killing Brutal Black Dragons for 40 hours straight, and to this day it is still my most viewed video on YouTube with over 300,000 views. So a part of the new series, I figured I would go back to something that I've done before and just do it in a different way. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. This one took me about 2 days to do. I was averaging about 60 kills per hour. I think your kills per hour really determine on what you're using to kill Brutal Blacks and also what worlds you're using. You know, the higher your total level, the more empty the worlds are going to be, and I did do my research a little bit, and I did hop around quite a few worlds that were not involved with total level requirements, and there's a lot of people here. So it is a pretty crowded area, and I would say for the most part why it's so crowded here is because they're just really easy to kill while you're on other accounts and doing other things in real life. You know, it's really AFK, and the money does add up over time, as you guys will see towards the end when we get to the price check. The requirements to kill Brutal Black Dragons are pretty simple. You just need 77 Slayer and just gotta pray magic the whole time. Most people here use range. People around my level who are also maxed tend to use twisted bows. You'll see throughout this video most of everyone I saw in the total level worlds were using twisted bows. As it goes for me personally, I only have about 500 mil, so I was using a Dragon Hunter Crossbow. But yeah, I would say your budget really determines your weapon, and your weapon pretty much determines your kills per hour. You don't really have to worry too much about your gear, since ideally you would be drinking an extended anti-fire sip every single inventory and also praying magic every single inventory, so you're never likely to take any damage. The only time you're ever going to take damage from Brutal Blacks is when you're standing right next to them, and they will always hit above a 20 on you because they are super aggressive. I think their melee stats are like 330 plus, so they do hit pretty high, so you always want to keep your distance and don't AFK too much, because you will see throughout this video there's quite a few deaths among myself and other people around me. Now, if you're curious as to why I was using a max cape instead of an assembler, as well as a Dragonfire ward instead of an Odium ward or a buckler or an Armadillo book, things like that, you don't really need a Dragonfire ward or a DFS because you're already praying magic and you're already extended anti-fired, so you really don't need that shield. But for someone like me who hadn't been here in a while, I was kind of learning this as I went on. After about 200 kills or so, I did switch the Dragonfire ward to a buckler, and I got a little bit more range bonus from that. And unfortunately for me, I had 16 assemblers, but I lost them all in the past couple months, and I really haven't been back to Vorkath to get a new one. So I did end up switching that max cape out, though, a little bit later on in the video for an accumulator max cape, which is just about 3 extra range bonus. So just to answer the comments that I know I'm going to see about those two things. And of course, the one other thing that I do not have would be Elite Void, which is actually really good here. So if you have that, you don't really have to worry about buying Armadillo or D'Hide or anything like that. Elite Void is pretty good defense and also prayer bonus, so something to keep in mind if you have it. Now, as it goes for banking, in the very beginning I was using the bank that's just south of this area, and then I was running north to the altar and then recharging my prayer and then going back down and killing these Brutal Black Dragons. That was pretty much the old school way of banking when it comes to killing these things, but the smartest thing to do would be after every single inventory, just teleport to your player-owned house and then use your ornament pool so you get full prayer, full HP, full energy, and all that, and then use a charged Xerx's Talisman to teleport directly right back to Brutal Black Dragons, and there you go. Banking takes less than, I'd say, 30 seconds if you're fast, and if you don't have an ornament pool or a pimped out player-owned house, don't even worry about it. You can do the same exact thing, just make sure you have an Xerx's Talisman charged and just use a dueling ring to go to Clan Wars, reheal everything, and then teleport directly back. And the reason you want to do this and get full prayer points and full HP for free is mainly for that one reason, simply because it's free. You know, you're using a lot less supplies, you don't have to use food of your own, you don't have to use your own prayer potion, so you're saving a lot of money on supply costs, which brings me to my next point. Using a Dragon Hunter Crossbow, obviously you have a lot of choices for what bolts you want to use, and I kind of made the stupid mistake of using Dragon Diamond Bolts E, which were 2,000 GP each, and after 1,000 bolts used, I realized, man, this is a lot of money, over 2 mil used just in these bolts, and 280 kills, averaging about 1,000 bolts per 280 kills. So after getting some advice from someone who was also at Brutal Black Dragons with me, I did end up switching to, I think this is how you pronounce it, Amethyst Broad Bolts, and they're only worth about 400 GP each, compared to the 1.8k that Diamond Dragon Bolts E are worth, which are just absolutely insane, because they inflict the same amount of damage, so it's crazy to spend money that you don't necessarily have to spend. So keep that in mind if you're using a Dragon Hunter Crossbow. Now, as it goes for some unique drops that I was seeing, obviously there is that 1 in 10,000 chance that you will get a Visage, but unfortunately I did not get one throughout this video. I don't really have good Visage luck, so I didn't really expect to get one. However, there were nice things adding up like Dark Totems. If you don't know what a Dark Totem is, anything in these Catacombs of Kourend do drop 3 different pieces that makes a totem that enables you to kill Skotizo, and Brutal Black Dragons have a decent drop rate of these pieces, so I was able to collect a few Dark Totems, and of course the Clue Scrolls, you know, we always do the level 3s, and of course the Elites as well. I was actually able to hit 100 Elite Clues throughout this video, as well as 300 Hard Clues, so it was nice to do. Looking at the normal drop table, it certainly reminds me of Vorkath. You know, it's got lovely rune items, dragon items, black d'hide pieces, and really good stackable items too, like dragon dart tips. Every single dragon dart tip drop you get is 155k. The javelin heads are 50k, the arrow tips are 50k, the rune ore noted. I mean, everything they drop is really good, especially on an Iron Man account, especially if you want to extend your trips. There was actually one guy that I met in a total level world that was crafting all the hides he was receiving and also using a bone crusher for the dragon bone. So I mean, you can do different things here to extend your trip. Maybe you get a Slayer task and you don't necessarily care about the profit. Well, I'd say in that case, maybe bring some high alchs with you. The only reason I wasn't bringing high alchs was because I just want to get a loot tab going, you know, see 1000 kills for what it is, and I'd say high alchs are really only for people who want to extend their trips. The unique drop table consists of dragon plate legs, dragon plate skirt, dragon spear, and an uncut dragon stone. Each of those items are 1 in 512, and since there's 4 different items, the chance of hitting it is 1 in 128. For the most part, my RNG was on point with this. I did receive a decent amount of dragon plate legs and dragon plate skirts, and I'd say it overtopped the dragon stone and the dragon spear, so it's better that I got the more valuable items in that drop table. Something that I'm just now noticing, I do believe that for the dragon javelin heads and the dragon arrow tips, and I'm not too sure about the dart tips, you do need the completion of Monkey Madness 2 to receive those as a drop from Brutal Black Dragons. That is something to keep in mind. I actually didn't know this until now, so yeah, make sure you have Monkey Madness 2 done and you will make more profit per hour here. Didn't really receive anything too special from the level 3 or the Elite Clue Scrolls that I was getting. I was enjoying doing them though, you know, like I mentioned in all of these videos, anytime that you get a Clue Scroll, it's a really nice time to take a break from the grind that you're doing, and it just makes the overall experience much easier to do, so I do recommend doing the clues. During the course of this video, I was actually contemplating a monster that I noticed to the south, which was a Brutal Red Dragon, and you guys might see it in my next loot video on my main account, Loot from 1000 Brutal Red Dragon. I've actually never killed a Brutal Red Dragon before, so that is something to maybe look for in the future, just kind of putting that out there. I was also playing on my Iron Man account in the meantime, getting a lot done on that account. Another benefit of killing these Brutal Black Dragons, which is really great, is just the fact that you can multitask so well and so easily. Something that kind of caught me off guard was one day I woke up and all of a sudden my Dragon Hunter crossbow went from being red to green. So I mean, it really does look good. It matches with the full Armadillo setup there and everything, the pegs and all that. Man, I was just styling and profiling, let me tell you. So yeah, at this point I had about 600 kills in and I had 2 full Dark Totems, and unfortunately for the next 400 kills I was unable to make another one. So I got really good RNG with the totems in the beginning of the video, but not so much towards the end, which is completely fine. Still haven't received the Skotizo pet, so I am looking forward to using those Dark Totems later on this week and maybe get lucky, who knows. Something I think is worth mentioning, you know, if you don't really like Brutal Black Dragons, something that's very similar to Brutals, you know, as it goes for the money per hour and also just being AFK, would certainly be Rune Dragons. A lot of my friends that have alternate accounts to make them money on the side, if they're not killing Brutal Black Dragons and if they're not killing Wyverns, usually the next best thing would be a Rune Dragon, and that's actually what made the population here go down, luckily, making it a little bit more bearable to find empty worlds for Brutal Black Dragons. So yeah, if you don't really like these, maybe look into Rune Dragons. It's always a good alternative, and maybe I'll be doing a loot video on those in the near future. Now, usually this would be the part where I would say, alright guys, we're getting close to the price check and all that, but you know, I had to add in an extra random minute of me talking into this video because it appears to me that every single video that I've uploaded in the past month, the top comment is always the same. It's always, Mr. No Sleep, why are you not making 10-minute videos? You know, you could be making 4 times the money, 5 times the money, whatever it may be. And since it started to bother you guys so much, I decided that now 1 in every 3 of my videos will be over 10 minutes, so that will satisfy you guys who like 10-minute videos for some weird reason. And for those of you who don't like extra ads on videos, you guys will receive a majority of videos under 10 minutes. And I hope that pleases you guys. I really do appreciate those of you who want to see me make more money per video, but again, I don't really do this for the money. I know that a lot of people say that, but I just want you guys to keep in mind that I live a very cheap life. As a matter of fact, I live in the low rent district and I only need like $1,000 a month to pay all my bills. And I'm not too sure if I'm allowed to say this, but I think I am. I made more than $1,000 last month uploading videos, and none of them were over 10 minutes. All in all, these videos give me a purpose to my day-to-day life, and at the end of the day, man, I am being 100% honest. I value having a purpose more than I value having a bigger bank account. So from the bottom of my heart, guys, do not worry about 10-minute videos. Let me worry about that. I appreciate all the comments, but man, you guys got to give 9 minutes a shot too, you know what I mean? So with all that being said, here we are at the price check. 1,000 kills has been complete. Looking at the Slayer helm, you know, starting at 0 and ending at 1,010. I guess the 10 extra kills were not accounted for because we only have 1,000 bones and 2,000 hides, so not too sure where those 10 kills came from. But yeah, as it goes for the overall drops, they are really looking good. As you can see, over 100 rune full helms, 58 rune plate legs, just an insane amount of armor pieces, and decent amount of runes as well. Tried to fit almost every single item into this first price check, and it does come out to be just about 29.2 mil. That's with dragon bones being at over 3,000 apiece, as well as black dragon hide being over 3,000. Very nice to see that add up over time. As I mentioned before, those dragon dart tips came out to be 3.2 mil alone, so those are very nice to see as a drop. The second price check wasn't too much, just some extra items that I couldn't fit in the inventory. Just came out to be about 200k or so. If you add up that number to the first price check, it does end up being about 29.4 mil from 1,000 brutal black dragons. Now, as it goes for the supply cost, all in all, it was about 6 mil in potions combined with bolts. So if you minus 6 mil from the initial price check of, let's just round up to say 30, and you get about 24 mil profit from 1,000 brutal black dragons. Well, that's going to be it for this one, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, Mr. No Sleep out.